What's going on, guys? I wasn't going to make a video covering the whole Ukraine-Russia situation in relation to Fortnite because I think most people are just doing it for views and for clicks, but we just saw a huge update now that Russian players will no longer be eligible for cash prizes. That's the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning, and this has some massive impacts. So I think it's important just to kind of cover this update. Firstly, yes, if you're from outside of the Fortnite competitive scene watching this, this is going to seem really stupid, in all honesty, because in comparison to the entire world situation going on right now, yes, some players not being able to make money in Fortnite is obviously a much smaller issue than a lot of the bigger issues going on right now in these countries. But for the professional players there, this has a massive impact. So the tweet that Fortnite Competitive put out reads, effective March 11th, so today, right now, Russia will be added to the list of countries where players are ineligible to win cash prizes in Fortnite tournaments, and they put a blog alongside this as well. Now, if you want to actually know the countries that are currently banned from this, you can go to the FNCS rules 3.7.1, and it says right at the bottom, the event is not open to individuals in the Crimea region, Cuba, Iran, Iraq, North Korea, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Turkey. Now, you can see up above the reason why is basically because they are prohibited by US law. So there's some sanctions on, similar to the way that Russia is now getting sanctioned from the US. However, in here, it's a little bit questionable because for the countries who are already banned, it says the event is not open to individuals wherever restricted. So it says that these players are not able to play cash prizes at all. Whereas if we come to the blog post that's just been put up here, I'll read you through this, which is a little bit different. It says, effective on March 11th, Russia will be added to the list of countries where players will be ineligible to win cash prizes in Fortnite competitive tournaments. So it says ineligible to win, but it doesn't say not able to play. So there's a difference between saying the event is not open to individuals who are restricted, which it says in the rules, whereas this blog post says ineligible to win cash prizes. So it sounds like Russian players will still be able to play these tournaments, but not actually be able to make any money. Under that, it says players residing in Russia must complete the prize verification process for any previous tournaments and claim funds from Epic's payment provider before March 22nd, 2022. So they have 11 days to basically claim any money they've made from tournaments so far, or they're not going to be able to get it after that. I am highly concerned about FNCS that's just happened, with a lot of the players making tens of thousands of dollars here. Usually this money takes a long time to be able to be claimed. I'm sure. Don't count me on that. I clearly have not won a lot of money playing Fortnite. Usually takes months. I'm pretty sure like Grand Royale money's not come out yet, and that was what, in November, December. So I'm slightly concerned that there's going to be a lot of money just held in accounts from players, which obviously is massive for, I think, like Kiriachi, who's won $100,000. And that says, if cash prizes remain unclaimed after March 22nd, 2020, so after 11 days from now, they will be frozen until Epic's payment service provider is able to resume prizing support for players residing in Russia. Now, this is an important statement because I think this is something that Jerian highlighted, saying, judging by the wording, it doesn't seem like this was Epic's choice to do this. It still sucks that it will happen. So for more context on this, Swift appears to have pulled out of Russia alongside Visa, MasterCard. I don't know too much about banking, but in short, you probably don't either. Essentially, these payment methods are no longer eligible to go from other countries into Russia and outside of Russia. So essentially, if you're paying using one of these methods, you will not be able to do that to people within Russia. And that's essentially what the issue is here, because obviously Epic can't pay the people that are in Russia. So it doesn't seem like there's a full just ban on Russian players from Epic's side. It seems like they physically can't pay them, and that's kind of how it's worded in the blog post as well. Also a note in here that says players residing in Russia will still be able to earn in-game cosmetic prizes, so you'll still be able to play for skins. And again, this is important because it somewhat solidifies the fact that it's not necessarily a ban on Russian players, it's just the fact that they can't get the cash to those players, so they can't be eligible for cash prizes. This blog post is pretty short. It leaves a lot to the imagination. There's tons of questions I have personally, like, again, the FNCS money probably won't be ready to claim prior to this. If Russian players move out of the country, can they play then? Are their earnings just straight up void if they end up actually playing tournaments, or are they just not allowed to enter them? Because that also has not been made clear. You can tell the difference by the rules for the countries who are already sanctioned in comparison to the way that the blog post said it. Can they change their payment method at all? So if they change that to like a non-Russian bank, if their organization has something, is that possible? If they place in the leaderboards, are they going to be deleted and another team will move up into that slot? Or is just that payment just not going to be existing anymore? What if a duo has one player from Russia, one player not from Russia? Is just that Russian player void and the other player is okay? Ton of questions that I really think need answered and need a lot more justification than the small blog post that's in so far. So hopefully we'll get a further update on that as well. Now, there's also stories of Russia cutting themselves off from the internet as a whole, which would mean that, of course, the players within Russia wouldn't be able to play this game at all. Now, there's a lot larger significance for that of things outside of Fortnite, but if that ends up being true, then obviously Fortnite would be cut off completely. Now, I didn't really want to cover Stormy Wright's story, just quite frankly, because I didn't want to try and clickbait it for views. It was a sad enough story, but he is a Ukrainian player who had to move out of his hometown with his family, and he set up somewhere else. He actually played FNCS Finals and won $100,000 while being in Ukraine, which is an absolutely horrible story. But the fact that he's managed to win $100,000 in that current situation shows the mental toughness of Stormy Wright. And when I saw him up there on the leaderboards, I actually genuinely had tears in my eyes because I was just so happy for him. But now he played with Kiriachi previously, who is a Russian player, and now as he is no longer eligible to play, he seems to be looking for a duo. So these guys have split at this point. You can see that tons of the Russian players like Malabuka, guys who've had a crazy good season, it's really been on the come up right now. Very, very sad that they're not going to be able to play. It's sad to see that they're not going to be able to play as well, or at least are not going to be able to earn. Like I said, we still don't know the specifics on this. Feel bad for the Russian players because this is just outside of their control. They don't want the current world situation, but it's impacting them in just so many different ways. Everyone stay safe out there. Peace.